So, travel has been a tricky proposition over the past couple of years. As I record this, the pandemic is entering its third year, with the Omicron wave just having died down. Trying out new beers here at home is fine, but I need more. I'm ready to break out. I'm vaccinated, boosted, and ready to go out into the world. Asheville, North Carolina, well known for its craft beer scene, is only a few hours away. So I'm grabbing my mask and hitting the road on a BevGeek road trip. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like button for this video. Also, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when new videos are released. Asheville sits in the Blue Ridge Mountains in western North Carolina, about 100 miles northwest of Charlotte and 50 miles east of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Its mountain location has long made Asheville a hub for visitors looking for scenic vistas and outdoor recreation. Since the 19th century, Asheville has been a vacation destination for those looking to venture into the great outdoors. A fact not lost on George Vanderbilt II when he built his chateau-style estate south of Asheville in the 1890s. His estate, the Biltmore, includes what was and still is the largest privately owned house in the United States. Tourists are no stranger to Asheville. In fact, the town's minor league baseball team is even called the Tourists. Also common in Asheville is a strong independence streak. Like elsewhere in Appalachia, the first European migrants to this region were Scots-Irish. These immigrants carved out their own lives away from the plantations and larger settlements out east, developing their own culture that would come to define Appalachia. The Scots-Irish would also bring their brewing traditions with them, brewing their own beer and later distilling their own whiskey. This sense of independence would carry on in Asheville, leading it to develop a thriving arts and crafts community as well as a burgeoning food scene. However, craft beer developed in Asheville later than it did in the craft beer meccas in the Northeast, Midwest, and West Coast. While the prohibition on alcohol ended federally in 1933 and ended later across the South, and many southern states maintained low caps on the alcohol content of beer for decades. North Carolina was no exception, with a cap of 6% alcohol by volume. This changed in 2005 when the limit was raised during the Pop the Cap movement.
So that group of us worked as volunteers, as craft beer enthusiasts, to change a law in North Carolina. Original intent was just to strike a clause that said, and not more than 6%, the legal definition of what beer could be. And it took us about 2.5 years of lobbying and pressure on the legislature, but we were ultimately successful with getting that law changed, and the cap is now a more reasonable 15%.
Pop the Cap made North Carolina one of the most brewer-friendly states in the Southeast. New breweries started popping up across the state, and breweries new and old started innovating with beer styles new to the region. Asheville became a focal point for this craft beer explosion in the state, with small breweries making their mark, and large brewers like New Belgium, Sierra Nevada, and Oscar Blue starting operations in western North Carolina. So, let's see what Asheville has to offer. The first stop is Highland Brewing Company on Asheville's east side. Highland was founded in 1994, making it the first brewery in Asheville since Prohibition. Its founder, Oscar Wong, is a retired engineer who started Highland Brewing as a hobby in the basement of a local bar and pizza shop. It now operates out of a 50-barrel brew house on a sprawling 40-acre property. The first beer I tried was the Notorious IPA. This Ruth Bader Ginsburg-inspired hazy IPA has a nice golden color, subtle flavors of citrus and pine, and just a little bitterness. It was relatively light-bodied and not too syrupy. A good beer if you're not a fan of over-the-top hazy IPAs. I followed that up with the Set and Spike Goza. This sour beer was crisp and tart, with lemon and tangerine flavors. A great refresher after hitting the volleyball court. My next visit was to Green Man Brewery, in Asheville's South Slope neighborhood, just south of downtown. Green Man is another early brewer in Asheville, opening their doors in 1997 as a downtown brew pub. An ownership change in 2010 led them to focus on brewing, moving to their current location. While focusing on brewing traditional ales, they also find room to innovate with new beer styles. I tried their Pretty Haze Machine, a juicy New England IPA. With its name inspired by the Nine Inch Nails album, this beer had tropical flavors of mango, papaya, and tangerine. It was definitely sweet, but not too syrupy. I also had their Czech Dark Lager. This dark brown beer was reminiscent of the dark beers I had while visiting Prague. It had flavors of chocolate and dark roasted coffee, along with some subtle sweetness. At 4% APV, it's a great beer if you're looking to drink something dark but not so high in alcohol. Next up is Burial Brewing Company, also on the South Slope. Burial, started in 2013, was inspired both from the craft beer scene in Seattle and the culture of New Orleans, both places the founders lived before settling in Asheville. Their beers are as eclectic as the cities they draw their inspiration from. First up is Tearing Flesh from Bone, a double IPA. Not for the faint of heart, this double dry hopped beer has a deep orange color and hazy appearance, with strong citrus and mango flavors. Despite its strength, it maintains a good balance between bitterness and sweetness. Next up is Somatic Effect, a photo-aged rice lager. This clear golden beer had a crisp flavor with subtle hop notes. It also had hints of clove and banana. Staying on the South Slope, my next visit was to Eurisko Brewing Company. This relatively new brewery opened in 2017 and focuses on traditional beer styles that are sometimes overlooked by modern craft brewers. First, I tried their Soft Light, a small IPA. This beer is double dry hopped with a hazy appearance, strong orange juice flavors, and some hints of pine. At 5.4% alcohol, this medium-bodied beer is scaled back enough that you can enjoy several of them in one sitting. Second, I had their Dunkel. This malty dark brown beer had good toast and caramel flavors. For a dark beer, it's still refreshing on a warm day. Rounding up my tour of the South Slope, I stopped at Bhramari Brewing Company. This brewery and restaurant opened in 2016 and takes its name from the Hindu goddess of bees. Taking inspiration from the local art scene, Bhramari doesn't hold back in showing creativity with their menu, and especially their beer. First up is Atomic Pageantry, a fruit punch sour. Getting its flavor from a variety of berries and tropical fruits, this beer is tart and refreshing, with a rich blood orange color. Next is Karakasa Obake, a rice lager with pu'er tea. This dry beer has a mix of crispness and earthiness, and has hints of banana and oak. We're moving further south to the Biltmore Village neighborhood, where I went to Highwire Brewing's Big Top Tap Room. Highwire opened up on the South Slope in 2012 and has become one of the bigger brewers in North Carolina. Outside Asheville, they currently have tap rooms in Durham, Wilmington, Knoxville, and Louisville, with plans to open in Charlotte, Birmingham, and Cincinnati in the near future. Here in Asheville, Highwire has 3 tap rooms, including the one I visited at their Big Top production brewery. I started with the High Pitch Mosaic IPA. One of their flagship beers, the dry hopped High Pitch has a nice amber color with strong tangerine and mango flavors balanced out with some bitterness. I followed that up with their Winterbock. This beer had light brown color with flavors of milk chocolate and candied fruits. Despite its prominent flavors, it didn't feel too heavy. My last stop was at DSSOLVR. This downtown brewery is a newer addition to Asheville, opening up in 2019. With the tagline "Brewed Until Surreal," DSSOLVR focuses on experimentation, both with older and newer beer styles. First, I tried Evil Appetite, a double dry hopped oated New England double IPA. A collaboration with Heist Brewery in Charlotte, this hazy, golden, full-bodied beer has strong flavors of fresh orange juice. Next, I had the Never Ending Sky, a Helles lager served using a Maliko pour. This style of pouring beer leaves mostly foam in the glass, giving the beer a creamy texture and flavor. Common in Czechia, use of this pouring style is rare in the United States. In addition to the creaminess of the Maliko pour, this beer was crisp, with light hoppiness. Asheville has certainly earned its place on the list of great craft beer cities. The breweries here have a lot to offer dedicated hopheads, as well as those looking for more variety in their brew. From large, nationally recognized brewers to small, lesser-known gems, this city has it all. Whether you're looking to make a craft beer pilgrimage or you just want to enjoy some good beer on your mountain vacation, Asheville's beer scene is definitely worth the trip. Thanks for watching. I apologize for the length of time between videos. I recently moved, but now that's done, I plan to get videos out more regularly. The drone shots from the opening, which I'm showing outtakes of now, were taken at the old place. Check out my Instagram for some pictures of what the backdrop looks like at my new place. My next video will have some footage filmed there. If you're interested in visiting the breweries in this video, links to them are listed in the description. Have you been to Asheville? If so, did you try any of the local beers? Which ones did you like? What beer cities would you like to visit? What is your favorite beverage? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again, and I'll see you for the next BevGeek video.